Hey guys, welcome back to Micho Makes. My name's Micho. I like to make stuff. Today we've got part number 29 of the Toyota Sprinter Trueno AE86 build by DeAgostini. This is the 1/8 scale massive model that we're building together. And without further ado, let's just jump right into this one. Okay, starting off, we've got our cover, our ever favorite frames, our pieces today, and it looks like we've got the exhaust, and this is actually pretty big. Nice. And we've got our magazine. Let me zoom out and make sure you can see this all. You good? Cool. We're looking at, looks like some engineering stuff. GT4, sorry, the Celica. Oh, it looks like we're talking about the turbo this time in the magazine too. Let's take a look at it and see what turbocharged vehicles Toyota's come up with. Oh yeah. A lot of basic information about the turbo and the rally cars that Toyota's put out too as well. I believe it's the GT40 Celica. The history of, I guess, Toyota's usage of turbochargers in their engines. God, I even miss these crazy steering wheels like that. That's so cool. 1G GTE, and I don't know, was that in the Mark II or Mark III Supra? Because that's right down here. I'm not too knowledgeable about the Supras, but those look really sick. And we jump right into the part after that. So we're not missing a beat. We're just getting right into the build. And it actually looks pretty extensive. So last time we just ran some wire and stuff. So looks like we're getting the full exhaust built. So let's get set up for that and take a look at the parts. Okay, right off the bat, floating in the bag, we've got some CM screws, some AP screws, and that's a lot of AP screws. So we're going to be doing a lot of building today. Opening this up. It's like we've got a nice heat shield here. Placed right around under the body of the exhaust. Looks like we've got a nice. I don't think this is calico. This is part of the muffler, not the calico converter. What am I talking about? Yeah, part of the muffler. And the opposite side of that too as well. Obviously, massive pipe, down pipe. Not really down pipe, but this is the pipe that goes over the rear diff. There are different styles that you can get aftermarket that go over the diff or under the diff, and this is obviously the over the diff style. Looks like we've got another part of the resonator, front and back. Another one of those brackets. Connecting piece here. Looks like the exhaust tip. Ooh. Nice and pretty and chrome. Got another bracket here, it looks like. Now, this might be metal actually, cast metal. Then all the other parts are plastic. I didn't call that out, but yeah, all the other parts are plastic, and this definitely, I believe, is cast metal. Got a little bit of a little issue here too. I don't know if it's flaking off or maybe just left over. Can you kind of see that right there? I'm gonna pull that out. Just make it look really nice. Then we've got a couple stickers, and I think these stickers, I don't actually know what these are for. I'm assuming they go on the resonator here because it's obviously the same shape, or the muffler here. So I'm assuming it's just to make it more clean looking, because obviously these are two parts put them together, and then these stickers will allow it to kind of look a little bit more clean, after the assembly is done. Just kind of, so there's not a split. For muffler manufacturing, they're not going to be manufactured like that. They're going to be like, two parts, but then this part is going to be one solid piece that they're going to put in there. Not like this. They're not going to be kind of clamshelled like that. Then we've got some AM screws and some VM screws, and that's it. All right, let's get set up and start building. All right, so we're actually grabbing this piece from the last part number 28, and then this is actually the part that goes over the differential. They're going to be basically combined with this, I think this is a catalytic converter, but resonator. I think it's a resonator pipe, and they actually go right here, connected right here and right here, just like that. And then we're going to be taking this part right here and connecting them together. Now there is an orientation around this one. Let me just double check and make sure I am orienting this correctly. Okay, I don't think there is an orientation, so I'm just going to go for it right here. I think it just goes on like that. And then we're going to be taking some AP screws that we have here, and just grabbing a couple of them. Now, one thing they actually call out, in the instructions is that, don't be concerned, because check this out. It's not like a super tight joint right here, because this is actually going to be affixed to the, you see that movement. It's going to be affixed to the body itself, so I'm not going to have to worry too much about the looseness of this. This is just to make sure that we get the look of the resonator pipe. There it is. Okay, next step is actually getting part of the muffler on, and there are orientation kind of guides here. We've got this little part here, and then these two there. It goes. This is part again that goes over the diff here, and it just kind of lays in just like this as it's popped up. And then we're gonna take some more AP screws. Just double checking AP screws. Yep. Right in those holes right there. Sure they're snug, not super tight either, but it's not secure, nice and secure. Then we're going to take this portion right here, and we're going to be laying this right in here. This is, I believe, just a connector for our exhaust tip, and we're going to be using AP screws again. Let's get that laid in there. All right, there's that done. Okay, back at it. We take this other side here. Now, I don't believe there is an orientation. Actually, there is, because we do have this little nub here. Sorry about that. Okay, after getting that complete, we actually are even putting the other side on here. And I think they're putting all the screws on this side, obviously, right here on the back too, just because it's going to be facing the body itself rather than like what you can actually see, because if you flip it over, it's nice and clean. So we're going to be flipping this over, and there is an orientation for this one where you've got the hole here and then the hole right there. Just plop that on. And we're going to be using AP screws again as well. Then we take actually this heat shield, and you can see the kind of guide marks as well as that. Place that right on there, and it fits right there. Nice. Look at that. Oh yeah, that fits real nice. Nice snug fit. And the final part, not for the whole. Okay, let's read it again. Okay, and the final part of this step is, you know how they give us two? I thought we would have to do run front and back. Actually, they give us two just in case we screwed up one, which is pretty awesome, actually. So I'm going to grab one of these, and we're going to put that right there just to make it nice and clean looking. Here. It feels actually like there's like a metal there, so I'm going to poke this hole out. Doesn't want to come off. Grab this little piece here too. Definitely feels like a little bit of piece of sheet metal, which is nice. Make it a nice clean look. Take a look at here. So I'm going to grab this with the tweezers, a little bit more accurate, which is nice. Just place it right there. Do my best. Looks real good. Nice solid piece. Nice. I'm pleased with that. And we've got an extra one, just in case we had screwed up or got bent or whatever. Again, this feels like aluminum tape almost, but we'll definitely hang on to that just in case something weird happens or I need to get in there for some reason. I need to reapply this. We're good to go. All right, back on the body here. We're actually going to be taking this bracket that we had shown previously, and as you can remember, there's a small. Let me just make sure you guys can actually see that. I'm a little bit out of focus on that. A small and a large size. We're actually going to be placing this right on the body, right at this spot right here, and the large size instead of the other one that was small right there. And for this, we're going to be using some AM screws. If I can get it out of here. Excellent. Grab one. The large size out. Small side. Get it oriented right for you. Okay, and now comes one of the hardest parts, usually, of installing an exhaust. I'm surprised actually they didn't make us do it, or they're making it do it like us do it like this. But sometimes, like if you're trying to install an exhaust, especially on an 8.6, you can actually remove this bolt right here, and then obviously this is not the case for this model kit, but the bolt here you can usually flip it upside down that way. These are usually rusted on, and you can see even the ones right here, they're flanges and they're bolted. You'd be able to remove it and put them in sections, but they just made it all do it one big piece. It's going to be a little bit difficult because what we need to do is we need to lift this up right here and snake this in just like so. Try to not block your view. Just like here, snake it in, get around these flanges and brackets. Now we have the benefit of this not weighing a ton. It's a piece of plastic. But if you're trying to do this under your car, on your back, it is probably one of the most not fun things. And just get it right there over the diff. Look at that. So easy when it's plastic and on your desk. We've got a couple, the guide holes right here, you can see. One right there, one right there. And super easy when it weighs maybe 2 ounces, maybe 3, and you don't have to worry about trying to carry this entire thing by yourself. Check that out. Got it installed. Looks real good, and you again had to kind of snake it in there, lift up the suspension, get that in there, turn it, and wow, that looks really cool. Awesome. And we're going to be bolting these in using AP screws. So we'll grab a couple AP screws to get it in. That's set. Look at that. That looks super sick. I love that. And it looks like one thing, remember that hole that was on top of the exhaust? It looks like it's falling right in line with this hole right here. So just kind of find that and set it right there. Should be good to go for that next part too as well. Okay, actually next part is actually we're just putting this on just like so. This goes on right here. You've got a little bit of just a friction fit, no screws on this part right here. You've got those little pieces right there. Push it on. That. Guess it made it do it, or made us do it like this. Just maybe a little bit thinner to try to kind of weave everything in. They could have done. We could have put that on before. It looks like, but looks like we're good. All right, we're gonna flip this over. And as mentioned before, we've got this muffler hanging down. You can kind of see it. Let me see if I can show you the hole. We're putting this right here to this one right here, and there is a little guide too right there. So well, hopefully that's in focus for you. Put that up right over there. Push it on just a little bit to hold it. And then we're going to take another AP screw. Got them right here. Make sure that's set right there. Make sure you can see that. I'll zoom in too. And set this just like so. Oops. Okay, flipping this back over. I'm going to rotate it this way. We've got a hole here, you can see. You can kind of see that focus on there. We're going to take this metal bracket that we got here too as well. That's going to fit in. So we've got a little casting here on the frame. Let me just zoom in so you can see. I got a casting here on the frame with this piece here, and that just is going to slide in just like here. Oops. Slide in just like here. There is a guide hole. You can see it right there. Make sure. And then there's another hole here. Slide this in here. Into the exhaust on this side. So you have to pull this up. Looks like pull it up, get it in, oriented a little bit. Then it feeds itself into that hole right there. And then we're going to be putting a screw right there. And that's going to be a AM screw. Sorry if it's hard to see. kind of get in an orientation where you can see that. All right. And that holds the exhaust really well. And again, this is metal. Don't know why they decided to use this part as metal than other ones, but yeah, this one's metal and then everything else is plastic. Okay, and then from this point, we're actually going to be just sticking on the tailpipe. Just goes right inside here, just like that. Now, one thing that is called out actually specifically in the book is that if this falls out often, take a little glue and put that on there and put it in there. I'm very tempted to do it right now, just so I don't have to mess around with it, because this thing can come out very easily. It is protruding off of the model itself too as well, and I believe can just easily just come off. So actually maybe just do that real quick, just so that I don't have to mess around with this falling out and losing it somewhere on the ground, as we'll be building this model quite a lot, especially if that's a separate part too as well. So hang on a second, I'm going to grab some glue. Okay, I've got our trusty cement here. I'm going to be very delicate too as well, just to make sure that I don't overdo this. You could just like leave this off too until the end, but I'm just going to leave it on so don't lose it. Did pretty good. Just insert that. We'll let it set. Awesome. Alright, you'd think that since we're done with the exhaust, that we're done. No, actually, we're going to get to install the shocks and springs on the rear end now. So I'm going to actually take these out. I put them in an extra bag I had here. So these small ones are going to be actually part of the shock absorber. Oops. Make sure you don't get them all tangled up like it here. It's relatively easy since they're pretty small to get them out. There you go, separated. And then these are actually the springs that are obviously are sprung, obviously, to help with the shock absorbing and the rear action of the rear axle, but very much so helping with the kind of look and feel of this. So these have been kind of getting stuck in here. I'm going to try to actually prop this up. Let me pause and prop this up better so you guys can actually see what's going on. Okay, I'm going to do my best to illustrate what we're going to be doing. These are obviously the shock tubes here, inner and outer. We're going to be taking one of these smaller springs and, again, being very careful that I don't lose any. Actually, this one doesn't go in this. Okay, so let me try it again. Alright, I got you guys at a better angle this time. This is actually where the shock tube, inner and outer, are going to be placed. So we're actually just going to be placing the spring right inside of there. And then placing this one inside of here to kind of give it that action. But also, we're going to be installing the spring here too as well. Actually, make sure this doesn't fall out. Weave this guy in here. And then, while this is kind of set, and this doesn't fall out, push this in. Give that shock action. Excellent. And it's just going to fall right there. Now the tricky part is that we've got to push this down and also get a VM screw tightened down. Now, probably the best way to do this is obviously hold this down, but I don't want to screw these down fully. I'm just going to see if I can grab one with one hand. Got it right here. And then you've got this got to be pushed down and then just put in here. It's VM screw. I'm just going to get a few threads threaded on this, just so it holds it. I think that's okay, and I'll tighten this one down in a second. Let's go flip it over the other side too as well. Looks pretty good too. Get my little prop. Hold it up. My spring. Right inside there. Kind of keep that out of the way. Actually, I'm going to pull that out. I should have done that second. I just fell back here. No problem. Get the other spring in here. I think this should go this way. Looks like that popped out. I'll have to get that refit. That spring inserted here. Get the spring in here. Just flopped over. Just dropped the spring again. Yeah, this is a little bit tricky here. Sorry. It's out of frame. I'm trying to bounce this thing. Spring in here. Let's show you guys. Alright. Got it. Looks like I got it. Okay, perfect. And the screw just popped out of the other one because I didn't thread it in all the way. Go ahead and grab that again. It's okay. Push this down on this one. I knew this would be probably one of the more difficult kind of coordination ones to do. Let's screw this down a little bit more than the other one that we had done before. Because that one should be set. I just need to grab another screw there. Look at that action. Nice. Alright, so I'll flip this around because this one screw fell out on this side. But still set, which is nice. Just got to get a new screw. Alright, let's double check this other side too. Alright. Looks like we're set. You can see the spring action there. The shock absorber. And the strut. Same on the other side. Now I might need to adjust this. I might have tightened them down too hard. Just because, you know, you're supposed to have some spring action too as well. She might be a little off kilter on this one, which is kind of throwing it off. So I'll redo this one real quick. Much better. Oh yeah. And just kind of, I'm playing around with it, just kind of match it. I'm sorry if you couldn't see that, but can kind of see the action there, and I think you can adjust the ride height too with these screws. I'll loosen this one up just a little bit. Give it a little bit more ride height. Kind of see that action there, and that is set. Look at that. Cool. All right, guys, that was part number 29 of the Toyota Sprinter Trueno AE86 by DeAgostini, where we finished up the exhaust here. We added in the rear springs and rear shocks too as well. Really big part where we installed a really cool piece that's really necessary for any car to function, really, right? So thanks again for joining me today. Really do appreciate a like, a subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Just to help the channel grow. Really do appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys in part number 30. And in part number 30, let's take a quick peek. You guys might not be too happy about it, but it is a necessary evil. We've got another tire. So that'll be a real quick one to get done. Really looking forward to just getting that one out of the way. I know it's a really quick one. We have 4 tires we need to do, and I think that is the last tire. But I really do appreciate you guys. We'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.